In this video, I'm going to be giving a rundown of a Docker desktop. As I did mention in the previous video, that this is a little bit new for Linux machines. We didn't used to have the GUI. It was only available on Windows and Mac, but now it is available for Linux too. Basically, everything you can see here or you can do here can be done using the command line, and we are going to be doing a lot of the things using the command line during this course. But just so that sometimes it does make sense to visualize it, uh, it is a great resource. On the left hand pan, uh, you can see we have containers, images, volumes, and dev environment. uh, just so that you know that the way I look at the Docker or Docker applications, I kind of categorize it that it has four main things. It has a container, it has images, it has volumes, and it has network. You don't see the networks in the Docker desktop. Uh, starting from the images, basically when you uh, so when you kind of install a Docker application, give me a second. Let me. I just um wanted to show you, not actually show you, just tell you the command I was thinking about. Uh, so for me, Docker. Yes, for me, in terms of the commands, you can think of it like the images is gonna be the first thing you're gonna be hitting. So images would be created when you use a command like docker build something, right? Docker in the build, and we'll be using all these commands in our course. But the images are gonna be a dead, like not a live thing. It's a dead snapshot of both the file systems and the application, but nothing is running. It's just a snapshot. uh, it could have all the file system sitting there and could be used by multiple containers, and maybe we have an image of Node.js, and there are multiple containers which are going to be using those file system and make a copy of that, and maybe those containers are just using running different commands, uh, taking all those file systems from the images. So again, in terms of the command line, in terms of the command, when you say docker build blank blank blank, that means you're gonna basically creating an image. But when you say docker run, basically when docker run and specifying a port, or maybe setting up a MySQL, you don't need to have to assign the port, stuff like that. You are actually essentially creating a container. In terms of the volumes, there are two different volumes, like, and we're going to be going into the details. Either you can have a named volume or you can mount it. The reason we use volumes is that when Docker is creating different containers, they are not, the data is not persisting. So in order for the data to persist on the hard drive, and when you stop the Docker and you run the sorry, when you stop the container or even terminate the container, and then you run the container again, and you want to read the container, the old data persisted on our hard drive, that's where you're going to be using the volumes. And the fourth component, which is not here, is the network, and you're going to be using the networking in order to do things related to the IP addresses, and how one, like, networking has to do with, like, when you want one container to actually talk to another container, or maybe one container is an application container and the other container is a database container, and you wanna basically run both of them together in order for the application container to persist the data into the database. So that's where the networking is going to be used. Just wanted to give you a rundown of this Docker desktop. Mostly in this course, we're going to be staying in the command line and doing things from there. That's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thanks for watching.